Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another fantastic indie creator interview. It's your Cape Crusader Cody, and we're keeping it geekly with our new guest, Xavier. We're here to talk about POW Pixel Games and Abathor, everything in between. Xavier, joining us from north of Spain. How are you doing, man? Welcome to the stream.
Fine, Cody. I'm doing very fine. I want to thank you for inviting me to your channel. It looks a great channel, and I'm delighted of talking with you.
Thank you so much. And likewise, I know when I saw, I think you guys were posting a clip on Twitter. I was just so taken back by how gorgeous the pixels, the four-player action, everything in between. This just drew my attention right away. I love what you guys have going on here. But before we dive into Abathor, let's go ahead and begin with the basics. Let's start with who you are and how you got into creating indie games.
Well, I'm Xavier. I've been playing games since I was a child. I've played. I know the arcades of the 80s, the golden age of the arcades of the 80s. I know the golden age of the arcades of the 90s. I'm really a fan of indie games. I also like new games too, but old games have something special that we'll talk about it later. And my brother is just like me. My brother is called David. Unfortunately, he can't connect today, but he and me have been loving pixel games and arcade games since we were very small, since we were child.
Mm-hmm.
So we are also developers, right? My brother is a software engineer. I've been also making some games of my last years. And we were making these games just for our own gratification, Cody, just for taking a good time. But one day, my brother started making a game up to four players, like a very indie game,
Mm-hmm.
like in the old days of the arcades. You can play with many characters and in a very detailed pixel art. We talk it about the pixel art later. And he said to me, "Hey brother, could you give me a hand in this new game that I'm just developing?" I thought it was going to be another of these games that we release, that we develop, but the game we decided that we were going to found an studio, an indie studio. That's POW Pixel Games, the studio that we founded. As I told you before the chat, it was a very difficult effort to come out with this name, POW Pixel Games, because we wanted to give this savoir, this savoir of an old arcade game. And so we started to make Abathor. That right? Abathor is an arcade game that if you make me some questions, I will gladly answer.
So I got to ask, back in the 80s and 90s, how many quarters do you think he went through? I know when I was younger, you couldn't get me away from those arcade machines. Sunset Riders, the Ninja Turtles in Time. There were some real good ones back in the day.
Well, there are many. There are many references. We grown with Chargers in Time, with Golden Axe, with King of Dragons, with Street Fighter, with Mario, with the original Mario, and many more games that you of course know, and all our watchers that are watching us right now will also sure know for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the game has influences. It's a homage to all the games and even many movies that we liked it when we were living in the final 80s and early 90s. For example, many people have told us, "Hey, dudes, this game is Golden Axe." Well, of course, it has some inspiration for Golden Axe. Another people has told us, "Hey, dudes, this game looks just like Ghosts and Ghosts of Capcom." Yeah, absurd. It looks like Ghosts and Ghosts. We have made some design taking this into account. The same with King of Dragons, the same with Altered Beast, the same with Mario, the same with Castlevania. There's so many references that today, even in our Twitter and in our Facebook, people keep on bringing references. And of course, there's even some references for, I don't know if that anime, because anime came sooner to Europe than to the States, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Came a few years before in Europe, France, Spain, Italy. So this is this anime Saint Seiya, Saint Seiya.
Hmm.
We also have references for that anime in our game.
So, I right away, I was drawn to the pixel art. I love how you guys utilize not only the pixel art, but the platforming. It's not like your
Yeah.
traditional platformer where you go left to right. There's a lot of chase sequences, it looks like, a lot of going up, going diagonal, multi-directions and everything. What is some of the key, like, elements you do to kind of keep that platforming alive and keep the player invested?
Yes, we wanted to make. We didn't want to make a linear game, but
Hmm.
we didn't want to make a Metroidvania neither because we wanted to keep it a very arcade feeling, a very arcade taste, right? But but this is not the 80s, right? So we also wanted to make something new. So the arcades, each arcade has 10 levels. Each level has 5 minutes some player and a final boss. That's not for a game of today. That's nice, but we should make it longer, right? If
Hmm.
people play game, they want to last for several hours, not just 20 minutes. So we divided a lot of zones and a lot of levels. The game will have more than 40 levels,
Oh, wow.
and each level has a different mechanic. In each level you reach, there is always something different. Maybe you go through a corridor in diagonal, then you have a small labyrinth, then you have a new mechanic of platforms, then you
Hmm.
have a new monster. So we wanted to make it very lots of variety, you know.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so all the mechanics in each level, you are always going to find something new, a new monster, a new mechanic of jumping, a new mechanic of platforms, a new mechanic of thinking. You have to go backwards, you have to go upwards,
Hmm.
downwards, you have to climb through a rope. There's always something different. Related to pixel art, um, that's the main one of the strong points of Abathor, right, Cody? Because you said that you said that it was a very visual impact for you, right?
Oh, can you repeat that again?
You say that the pixel art shocked you, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, it was gorgeous. Yeah, yeah.
that's it's a lot of effort in that pixel art because we wanted to do it pixel perfect. The
Hmm.
pixel perfect expression. It means for all our watchers, pixel perfect means that every little pixel and every little scale is thought into that scale. So there's no vectorized graphics. There's no any different scales. It's everything up to the little only pixel that is the reference, the baseline for all the sprites and for all the graphics of the game. So, what does it mean? It means that making the graphics, making the sprites, making the visual effects of this game is very hard. It's like handmade,
Hmm.
like a craft, like a craft. So we have to put pixel by pixel, like this and this and this. We have to make iterations of each sprite, iterations of each level, of
Hmm.
each monster. It's hard work, but to the site is very rewarding. We even have some these bachelor art students, a young girl that came to one of our events. Uh, that she watched the game in Twitter and she came to the event just to ask us about the
Oh,
pixel art.
that's so awesome. I bet
a
that felt
bachelor
amazing.
art student, yeah.
I bet that felt amazing. Yeah, the pixel art is just gorgeous, especially when the characters are like doing their transformations. It was like visually shocking. I'm like, I did not know you could do this with pixels. I mean, speaking of the characters, we have 4 playable champions. Can you give us a little bit about them?
Yeah, sure, Cody. Our characters have it's all are homage to the 80s and 90s, and all
Hmm.
have something special. Of course, there's the main character. He's the barbarian, right? Obviously, he's based on Conan, obviously, and he's based on Rastan, of the game Rastan. He's based on all the barbarian movies of the 80s, right? There's then the Valkyrie size. It's a Valkyrie, and she's based also on the Conan movie. This game Abathor has a lot of Conan the Barbarian references. That is a very 80s
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Then
Especially
we
the
have,
way he holds the sword. I love it.
yeah, yeah. It's no, it's we took images from the movie and we just copied, right?
When he gets ready to do his transformation, he holds it up almost like He-Man, it feels like.
Yeah, yeah, like He-Man, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
That's all.
also
I'm
He-Man
loving all these little Easter
references,
eggs.
There are a lot of little references. I cannot tell about all of them because
Yeah.
they are infinite. Then we have the Assassin. The Assassin is based on the Ninja Gaiden and all the ninja games of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Warlock is called Aces. Aces is based on a character of dark fantasy called Eric of Melibone.
Okay. No, that's awesome.
A dark fantasy character.
Their transformations are so cool as well. It's like
Yeah,
you
the
take
transformation. All the characters are in Atlantis, right? Atlantis has been invaded by monsters. Abathor is the world beneath Atlantis. It's a world full of monsters and demons. So the Atlantean people have committed a sin. What kind of sin? I can't spoil that. The people will watch during the game, and it's a very, very hard sin. So the gods and the demons have decided to destroy not only Atlantis but all the earth. And so the characters have to save Atlantis, right? So they have the help of only one god. Of all the gods, they only have the help of one god. So the transformations that you talk about are the help of the gods, right?
Okay.
Of the only god that helps you. And so you hit an earth, and the power of the earth come out and you can transform. All the characters transform into something.
That's so cool.
As you can see in the video, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. And like I said, the pixels, just the way you guys utilize just the placement of them, it's just so gorgeous.
Yeah.
And another thing that really was striking was the OST, the music. I mean, who is the music composer for you guys?
Well, my brother is a lover of violin music. He has listened to I don't know the exact cipher, but more than 20,000 OSTs of violins, more than 20,000. He has been listening to all his life, so he's a specialist on violin music. So he's in contact with a professional composer, right, who like the 16-bit sound of chip tunes of Mega Drive. You say Genesis, right? No Mega Drive.
Yeah. Genesis, Sega Genesis over here.
Sega Genesis, of Super Nintendo, and of arcade games, because maybe people don't know, but the indie world of violins is so big. It's so big, and there are so many people that like to play indie games, like to develop and design sprite games, that like to develop pixel art, and of course there are composers that utilize synthesizers to emulate the chiptune music of the 16th video games. It's incredible. So we are in touch with some composers. We are making the music with our help.
Wow. It definitely was an awesome experience, kind of just like having the pixel art and then the chiptune music is just, it puts you right back into the 80s and 90s.
It's crazy. It's really pushed you back. We have made some playtests with people, and they really love the feeling. They really love the feeling. It's like going back to the 80s. And even me, I have played the game so much for developing, right? But I still have fun with it. And I won't say this because it's my game, but some of the themes, some of the music of the songs of the game are very good. Have quality, chiptune quality, but have quality. I have even surprised myself in my car driving, listening to the music of the game in the phone, right? Just putting.
That's how you know it's good. That's like you're grocery shopping and you're humming.
Oh my god! I'm listening to the game's music. to cheer up.
We have Insamod32 over on Twitch stopping in to say this game looks amazing. Yes, it is gorgeous. This is just the tip of the iceberg as well. For everyone that is watching, you can head over to Steam to not only check out more art, but to wishlist this as well. Speaking of that, you guys have a demo coming out relatively soon, right? I want to say in June?
Yeah, and in June, we hope if there will be a free demo in Steam. Will be a free downloadable demo for everyone who wants to test the game. And the demo will have tiny bits of the game. It's going to have 5 levels, right?
Okay.
Let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. But each level is going to have something different. The first level
awesome.
will be the landing of Atlantis. There will be another level with the transformations. There will be a boss fight, and then you will jump to another zone with another level in a forest and another boss fight. It's going to be awesome. We have been testing it. It's almost finished out, and we think that people are going to like listen to that because
I know I can't wait to get my hands on it.
You can play it solo and you can play with friends or with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the two experiences are nice. If you play it solo, it's like a challenge, like an arcade challenge. Are you able? Because it's more difficult if you play solo, right? It's more difficult.
Yeah.
And if you play with friends, it's a cooperation and competition game. What does it mean? It means that at the end of each level, there is this mechanic we made out. And there is this mineral, orichalcum. Orichalcum, it's a mineral of Atlantis. We have been doing the research about all the Atlantis documents that there are, Plato's, the philosopher, Plato's writing, 17th century map. We have researched everything that is researchable about Atlantis, right? And there's this mineral, orichalcum, that is supposed to be a great mineral of the mythic Atlantis. So, it's the main treasure of the game. If you collect this mineral, there's going to be a lot of treasures, weapons, equipment. But this mineral, at the end of each level, each player offers all the mineral that they have loot during the level. They offer to the gods. So the player that has offered more orichalcum to the gods gains a special item. And the players who have less orichalcum, they lose all the orichalcum and they don't receive anything.
Oh,
so anything. So there's going to be this competition, right? Between who gets more orichalcum to have the best items. But there's always a but. If you die, you lose your items. That means that you also have to cooperate, right? Because you don't want to lose items. So this mechanic that mixes up cooperation and competition.
No, I love that. I love that. So if you're playing solo, are the other 3 AIs or is it just your one character?
No, if you play solo, it's just you against all the monsters.
Okay.
It's like another different challenge. One challenge is cooperation and competition between 4 players, and the other challenge is you play solo against all the monsters.
Awesome.
The game is the same, but the feeling is different.
Yeah. So we got the demo in June. You have a full release scheduled, or at least aiming for next year, and that's going to include not only Steam but all different consoles as well, right?
Yeah. It's going to be released on Steam on next year. It's going to be released in Nintendo Switch, on PS4, PS5, Xbox, and maybe Steam Deck also, maybe. And I'm going to say something that we haven't said yet, but we are working on it. On the physical editions, on the Switch, PS4, and PS5, we are going to include a special printed map of Atlantis.
Oh, that's going to be so
cool. Map with all the zones of the game, a full color map, looking like a scroll, right? Looking like a parchment. We are working on that. It's a very nice map, and this map is based on a real map of a researcher of the 17th century called Athanasius Kirchner. This man was a German researcher that allegedly he's supposed to have discovered a map of the original Atlantis. So we have taken this map and we have based our map in this original map.
That's so cool. I love that. I love little things when you open up the game and it's in there. It's like, that's so cool, because anymore you buy a new game, there's nothing in there, right? There, you open it up.
No,
it's
there's
just
nothing. We want to make little surprises. So there would be this deluxe edition for sure.
No, that is so cool. So not only this, I mean, this game is gorgeous. You guys were nominated, had a nominee for Best Indie Game 2022 in Gamergy as well. Congratulations on that. Yeah, so awesome. I mean, so with the full release coming out sometime this year or next year, you know, what's next for you guys? Do you have any other games that you're looking at, maybe scheduled, eyeballing for Pow Pixel Games?
Yeah, so first, the Gamergy event. The Gamergy, as people know, is the main Amazon gaming event and gaming and esports game. And this year, it had an indie game zone, right? And there was this contest for all the indie games that were there. We were finalists competing with many other games, but we were the most played games of the event.
Wow.
Abathor was the most played game. The organizer told us that Abathor was the most played by far. And we know that because we had queues. Is that the word? Queues?
Yeah.
Like
wait times
of people.
Yeah. Yep.
Waiting line. There was a waiting line for playing the game.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That had to have been such a good feeling.
And related to Pow Pixel Games, sure, we are thinking on new games. We are thinking of new games. We have more ideas, but we cannot release the ideas yet. But there will be if Abathor works, there will be something very special with Abathor, and it won't be a DLC. It will be something different and cool, because if this works, we have very good ideas with this.
All right. Well, hey guys, those you can be sure to follow them. The link to their Twitter account is in the description below, so be sure to check that out. Follow them to be notified of the later updates. So before we let you go, Xavier, I got to ask you for a little bit of advice for anyone who might be listening and interested in getting involved with indie games. What advice would you offer them to kind of help them, you know, get started along their journey?
Yes. One. Do not think too much about it. Just start working. Do not make a big plan. The big plans come when you have something. So start programming, start the development. If you have an idea, put it into work, and then think about it. But the planning must catch you while you are working. Two, work with people. It's very difficult to be a solo dev. Mm-hmm. Find some people. If you have a good idea, people will help you, right? You could make a team, like we have made a team, and put it all your passion. That's so important. Put it all your passion. If you put passion into it, it's going to be great. And three, that's the most difficult. You will have 2 jobs while developing a game. The first job will be the game, and the second job will be the social media, and it's as demanding as the game. Mm-hmm. It's as demanding as the game.
You got to be on it though. If you want it, you got to chase that dream and you got to achieve it, right?
Of course, you may have a good game, right? But people have to know about your game. So work on your social media to keep your contacts, keep your networking. Talk to people like Cody, right? In
thank channels,
you. Because we are very grateful to you, and I hope that people reach Abathor and reach your channel. So you and me can we'll say, well, you know, you came from Cody, right?
Yeah, recommendation, right?
And maybe do you also stream games? Do you also make play streaming?
For me, I stream a little bit later with my Twitch content creation. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
usually around 11 at 9 p.m. EST.
Because maybe if you want, maybe we will give you access to an early demo to play it. An early demo
Yeah.
before. Yeah, maybe we're working on that to the people who do.
He's like, I don't know yet, maybe.
Yeah, because I cannot give you my word because we have not it finished. I cannot give you my word, but we are going to try hard to make this gift to all the people that interview us.
Oh, that's so cool. So you let me know, and I will make it an effort to stream earlier. Well, you let me know whenever you're ready, and I will make it happen on my channel.
You could play before everyone else.
Yeah, that would be. Oh man, you got
awesome.
my attention.
Awesome.
Well, Xavier, this has been one hell of a sit down. Everyone watching, right here is the link to go to their Steam page and wishlist it right now. It's 100% free to wishlist. It's free to share this on Twitter and on Facebook. So be sure to get this word out. We have Insamod32 saying, I will watch over on Twitch. So as soon as we get that beta key, I will let you know, Insamod, and we will get playing on it. So Xavier, thank you for swinging by, breaking down Abathor and everything in between. Everyone watching, this has been an awesome Thursday. I hope you all have one hell of a day. But most importantly, guys, keep it geekly.